Well, hello. So, I am still at home. It is Tuesday, and I'm home longer than I planned on being home. I planned on being out of the house on the road as early as Sunday afternoon, most likely Monday or Tuesday, though. The thing is let me digress off over here for a minute. This is something I've talked about many times. I want to state it again on why. Why did I not think I was going to make it out until maybe Tuesday? Camera's here, but I'm looking over here. You know what I need to do is I need to get the camera like put right where the it shows me, because it's really weird to look into the camera. It's a lot easier to look at me and the video thing over here. But anyway, um, I can only speak on USA Trucks load board. I don't know. I suspect. I mean, this is an industry-wide thing, so I suspect it's similar to this everywhere in the industry, but maybe not to the extreme that it is at USA Trucks load board, because USA Truck, in comparison to a lot of load boards, doesn't have near the freight volume. So let me scroll down a little bit so you can look at. Let me refresh it. This is everything within 150 miles of Oklahoma City. I'm looking for a load to come out of my house. It looks like I can get every single load on that one page right there. Um, there's not much of anything on the weekend. The people who put loads on the load board, they're 8 to 5 Monday through Friday people. The account managers, the load coordinators, the this, that, the other. Like there's 100 different positions. The same position has 1,000 different names. Driver managers, dispatchers, load coordinators, load planners. Therapy dogs. I don't know. But they work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. So if I can't find a load Thursday or Friday, and finding a load Friday is hard because everybody's trying to get loads for the weekend and get loads for Monday on Friday. So if you don't have a load come Friday, you're probably not going to get a load until Monday, and it's probably not going to pick up till maybe Tuesday. So that's kind of like I have a basic, I've worked here long enough that I have a basic understanding of how things work. So I expected that since I couldn't find a load Thursday or Friday, that I probably wouldn't be out until Tuesday. I would have to wait until Monday morning, and I'd have to sit and watch the load board all day Monday to see if a load popped up, and then I would hopefully be leaving by Tuesday. Well, that's what happened. There wasn't shit on the load board Friday. There wasn't shit Saturday, nothing Sunday, and loads didn't start popping up until Monday morning around 8:30 a.m. Um, was like when the very first one was put up, and by like 9:30, some more popped up, and throughout the day they just kept popping up. There was one really good load, paid like $3 a mile, is going to Romeoville. So it Jinx. There's a Kimberly Clark in Jinx, and there's another Kimberly Clark in Romeoville, which is the edge of Chicago. Um, and I go to the Jinx one all the time because it's like that's about the only place to pull a load from Oklahoma City is Jinx out of Tulsa. So I'm constantly going to and from the Kimberly Clark in Tulsa or Jinx. Romeoville, I've been there once or twice. Really small place, really tight, and it's really busy. Really small, really tight, really busy. And the one of the shipping and receiving people is that I dealt with was he had the stereotypical small man syndrome thing. He was a short guy, and he was power tripping on everything that he could. He was really annoying to deal with. The other guy there was really cool, laid back, and was helpful and got things done quickly. Little power tripping fucker was annoying, but I don't mind going there. It's not so bad that I avoid the place, but it is not a good place to go because of how tight it is. It's like it's really tight in there. It's one of those places where you can't have a bad setup. You have to have a good setup to be able. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to have a good setup to be able to make it into a spot. Um, and when I was in there, you know, checking in and out with shipping and receiving, like that's all the drivers were talking about was how tight that place was. It's so tight you cannot do a U-turn there. There has to be some place that you can back into to be able to turn around. If you do not want a blindside, like if they have you, like they had me back into a dock, directly into a dock instead of just, it was a drop preloaded trailer. So I didn't have to stay there to wait for it to be unloaded, but they wanted me to pop the doors and put it into a dock, not just put it into a spot. Well, I'm heading this direction. The docks are on my right side. I don't want to blindside it. There's not enough room to do a U-turn to, flip it around to where I'm. And whenever you go all the way to the end of the lot, it just ends. There's not open space down there to do a U-turn. So I had to find a spot that had an open space. It had like two spaces open so that I could blindside into a spot to turn around so that I didn't have to blindside into my narrow spot that I was backing into. So I had to blindside into a spot to turn around so I wouldn't have to blindside. Like, that's how tight that fucking place is. The more I think about it, the more I think I want to avoid it again in the future. Because I can't imagine what it would be like if like you couldn't find a spot on the right side or the left side that was that had two open things in it so that you could turn around. There was nothing. There were no open spots on the left side. That's probably why they had me park it into a dock, because there was no place to put a trailer in their staging spots. Anyway, so all day Monday there was one good load. Tuesday so far there has not been any good loads. So let me talk about some of the things on what I'm talking about on loads. Now, here's another factor in here. There have been a few decent loads that I would have taken if I wasn't trying to do something specific. Now, this is a thing that just kind of fucks everything up, is that my APU's broken. It's been broken for a month. I really, really, really need to get it fixed. So I'm waiting for a load that takes me through Springfield, Missouri, with enough time, that has a load that has like an extra day on it, so that I can get my APU fixed in Springfield. That's what I'm looking for. Now, there is one load on this load board that will do that. There is one load, and I'm thinking about getting it. You can sit here and try to figure out what load that is while I talk about Monday. So there was one really awesome load on Monday. The stuff coming out of Tulsa doesn't pay very well. It's $1 a mile crap. You're lucky if you can get something that's $1.40, $1.50 a mile. And there was a almost $4 a mile run. It was, what did it pay? It was $2,200 plus 160 fuel surcharge. So it was like $2,300 something dollars. It's 671 miles, if I remember correctly. So we'll say 700 miles. So it paid over $3 a mile line haul. So you're talking about a load that would pay me like probably $1.80 to $2 a mile. Coming out of Tulsa, that is fucking amazing. The Tulsa market is horrible. Now, $1.80, $2 a mile isn't that fantastic in other markets, but out of Tulsa, that's amazing. And it didn't have a lot of downtime on it. It was like pick it up at 3 p.m. on one day and deliver it at 10 a.m. the next day. So it was a run where if your truck is governed at 65 or below, you would not have been able to do it, because it was an almost 700-mile run. They were paying 671 was the loaded paid miles on it. It was probably closer to 700 or more miles, and it had to be done in a single drive shift. Like, it was a really, like, you had no time on it load. There was no time to take a 10 on the load. You had to have all your hours available when you picked it up, and you had to deliver it the next day. Picked up on the 12th, delivered on the 13th. Picked up on the 12th at 3, delivered on the 13th at 10. So 3 p.m. pickup, and it was a live load, and it was a live unload. So you'd be lucky to get out of there by 7 or 8 o'clock at night, because Kimberly-Clark is really slow on live loads. So like 3 or 4 hours to load you is really normal there. Sorry, text. So yeah, there's no way to take a 10. So if you're in a truck governed at 65, I don't even think it's possible. Even if you're in a truck governed at 70, it'd be really hard to do. Because it's 75 mile an hour speed limit for the first 100 miles or so outside of Tulsa on the toll road. Then it drops down to 70 once you get into Missouri. And it stays pretty much 70 until you get to Illinois. And then it'll drop down to like 65. And then as you get closer to Chicago, the truck speed limit gets down to like 60. So it would be nearly impossible to do that in a single drive shift. You would have to be hauling ass to do it. I could do it. But most people could not do that. They would not be able to make that delivery on time. That was almost like a team run, is what it was. But it was an amazing run. Under different circumstances, I would have taken that run. But I need to have enough time on a load to stop in Springfield and get my APU fixed. I even looked at other loads. I was like, well, if I go and deliver that really quick, I can just see what's coming out of the Chicago area, and I can stop by Springfield on the way back. I couldn't find any loads coming back into Springfield. So really, really, really wanted that load. In order for me to get that load, though, I would have to drive from my house to Jinx. I would have to sit there, take a 10 to get all my hours back, and be ready to go by 3 p.m. So it's not like I could leave the house, pick up the load, and then drive on from there, because it's like 110 plus miles from my house to Jinx. So that turns it into like an 800 mile day. I can't do 800 miles in a day. So there were a lot of reasons, but the load paid well. It didn't have a lot of downtime. I mean, it was an amazing load. Under any other circumstances, I would have snagged that load up. It was just an awesome load. All right, so you've been looking on here. Let me refresh. This is basically what I've been doing Monday and Tuesday. Ooh, here's a new one. Oh man, that thing pays absolute dog shit. I don't care. I'm not leaving my house for $1 a mile crap. I mean, look at this crap. 182 miles paying $250. I mean, this is just, it pisses me off to see this shit on here. $400. This is Kimberly-Clark, man. This is just like, whoever posts this shit just needs to be taken out behind the woodshed and beat with a rubber hose. Like, this just, it makes me mad to see this shit on here. This stuff that is this ridiculously cheap. I will not pull this shit. Like, I'm not leaving my house to pull this stupid shit. So this Wintersville, Ohio load is a decent load. It's not a very good load, actually. I mean, it's actually kind of a bad load. It's a damn 2-day load. It pays $1,800. Like, I would get, it's like a $600 a day run is what it is, and it gets you over near Pittsburgh. I mean, this is another one, but I mean, this one pays terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I can't believe they posted this stupid shit on here. Washington is a terrible freight market. The loads coming out of Washington pay dog shit. And they're going to pay you dog shit to go into a bad freight market. This is like, who are the fucking idiots that are putting these loads up here? This just makes me want to quit this fucking company. And By the way, heads up in case you haven't been watching my videos, I am quitting this fucking company as soon as I can. I plan on getting on with Landstar at the earliest possible time that I can. USA Trucks load board is garbage. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker on that. Here's the kicker. It's better than most. Like, this is so bad. I mean, USA Trucks load board is so bad. The rates on it are so terrible. There are occasionally diamonds in the rough. And I've gotten a few diamond loads. I've gotten a few good loads. There are good loads that are occasionally posted to the load board. Most of them are absolute dog shit. Most of them, it's like they don't even really want to move the freight. It's just they're throwing it up there and they're like, you know what? I don't really want to move it, but if I get somebody to pull it for this, then fuck it, we'll do it. I mean, that seems to be the logic of the jackasses putting the loads up on USA Trucks load board. I mean, that's what these fuckers are doing. It's like, you know what? I don't really want to. I don't want to move this load, but you know what? I'll put it up for some ridiculous price, and if somebody will move it for that, then fuck it, let's roll. It's like, fuck these people. I'm so mad right now. Just looking at these ridiculous rates, it just pisses me off. But the Wintersville, Ohio has enough extra time on it that I could stop at APU Center. So it picks up on the 13th. The 13th is Thursday. So I could basically get there real early Thursday, like midnight, Wednesday night, Thursday morning or whatever. Pick this thing up, and I could be at APU Center by the time they open up at 8 a.m. and get my APU fixed, replace the water pump under warranty. And that's another thing of drama that I don't really feel like dealing with. APU Center has pissed me off. I can't believe they charged me $90 to do nothing last time I was there and told me everything was working fine, and it wasn't. Like, Jared is an incompetent fucking idiot at APU Center. If you ever go to APU Center, request that Jared not work on your shit, because Jared is a fucking idiot. The way he talks and acts and everything, it's like he's from New York. I think he's from New York or somewhere up in the Northeast, Massachusetts or something. But he talks like, you know, like that. That's the way he talks and acts, is like some con man or something, and he's really bad at his job. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So, yeah. This is the best load on the board right now. Bedford, Pennsylvania. Let me see where Bedford, Pennsylvania is at. I think that's Pittsburgh. It's not far enough to be over on the other side. Oh shit, that's quite a ways past Pittsburgh. Now, Philadelphia, this is where you do not want to be. And this Bedford, Pennsylvania, is probably somewhere I wouldn't want to bother with being on. I have not been to Pennsylvania since I've been back in trucking. Actually, yes, I have, because I've been to Rochester. So I drove 90. But I haven't been down here around Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Last time I was in Philadelphia, I think it was a 76 right here, was a really expensive toll road. I don't want to fuck with that. 70 or 76 or whatever it is, the interstate that goes across South Pennsylvania. I don't want to touch that shit. It was one of the worst roads I've ever driven on, and it was one of the most expensive. But the other one, the other load, is basically Steubenville. Wintersville, Ohio, right here. Only thing that sucks about this one is that you're driving up this highway. I'm not sure exactly how you get there if you take 22 all the way across here or go across and take 7 up. 7 would probably be the way to go. If I remember correctly when I looked at this, 7 was a nice divided highway. Yeah, 7 is a nice divided highway most of the way. Yeah, really nice divided highway. And 22 also looks like a nice divided highway. So there's a couple of good roads going there. Alright, so it looks like right here is where 22 becomes a nice divided highway. And there's a couple of sections. So it looks like it goes nice divided highway, and then back down, and then back up. I don't know. That little short section there would be a pain in the ass. And I looked at loads coming out of within 50 miles of Wintersville. There wasn't shit. But once you expand out, then there's a decent number of loads. But they don't pay very well. Not a lot of good loads. Let's get rid of this. Looking that far into the future, this is another thing about USA Truck's load board that sucks. Is since there's not a lot of loads, getting loads, like planning out, like trying to get 2 or 3 loads on you at a time is not easy. So we're looking at loads at a shorter time frame, and God, $1 a mile. This is like what I would actually make on this load's like 80 cents a mile or something. This is just terrible. And these little short runs, 100 miles, 200 miles. I mean, they're decent rates per mile, but they're shitty runs. At least it's not like $300, the stupid crap over here. These 180-mile runs paying $250, that is, oh, that pisses me off. Fuck these people. Yeah, this sucks. So I've basically just been looking for a really good load. I don't want to leave my house I'm not like in a situation where I'm desperate to keep the truck rolling. So I'm waiting for a load that I can get my APU fixed on and I can actually make some money. Why would I leave my house to go like on a break-even run? Why would I leave my house to just go drive the truck around for funsies and like make almost no money at all? It's not worth it. Let's go over to the video game I'm playing. Yeah, so that's it. Let me refresh that one more time. God, it just pisses me off to see these cheap ass loads on here. All right, so that's the load board. Now let's screw around with City of Heroes. Let's see. Um, I'm so City of Heroes. In case any of you are not gamers, or even if you are gamers, you may not. You just may not know about City of Heroes. And I'm on a mission where I can't die. I have super buffs on me. It's a mission after you hit max level. This mission basically unlocks alternate alternate advancement systems, and the whole mission is designed to show you how powerful you can become. So let me see. Let me throw all my invisibility stuff on. Let's see. I need to rescue somebody. Let me just see if I can. See if I can find that person and just stealth this mission. View your future memory. Rescue Mendel Romeo. Oh, there he is. There's the dude. So I could probably just kill this big guy right here and that'll finish the mission. Alright, let's throw all my buffs on and then we'll do my big hit. I'll just hit random buttons. Like, I can't really die here. So City of Heroes has been shut down. The game is shut down. It no longer exists. This is a private server. So the game came out in, I don't know when, somewhere in the early 2000s, like 2003-ish, somewhere around there, during the MMO boom, when there was just MMOs flooding the market. Like, there was a new MMO coming out every week. Oh, crap. Why did I have... I could have swore I turned off my super speed. Well, let's make our way back up there. Super speed gives me, like, an invisibility buff, so that's the reason I have to have it on, even though I don't really want it on. Yay, I won. Alright, let's click the exit button, and now I should have a new incarnate ability. Let's see here. Go to powers, incarnate abilities. Huh. What in the hell? Let's move towards our destiny. Part 2. Speak with Lord Recluse. It sounds like me. So he's in Grandville. That's on the villain side. All right, so before I get involved further into this mission, that was a teleportability I used. Um, it takes you to like a little hub thing that they made for teleporting, making it easier to get around. So the game, it was released in the early 2000s. It was a very popular game. There were a couple of spin-offs like Champions Online, DC Universe Online. Those are the only two superhero games I can think of. That this was the first superhero MMO, and those were the other two that came after it that kind of mimicked it. Now there are some other things that I really like about those other two games. And I'll get to that in a second. There are things I like about this game as well. So it's kind of like the first superhero MMO ever released, and they did a lot of things right. It's a good game, but I think it was NCSoft was the publisher. I don't know if they were the developer, but the way these games, what happens with these games is these large corporations, these huge publishers or game studios or whatever, they need to make tremendous amounts of money for it to be worth their time to run one of these games and continue development on them because they have huge expenses. Well, the number of people playing the game got down to a level where it just wasn't very I mean, it was probably still profitable, but it just wasn't worth it. Like it was making so little money, it wasn't worth it. So they just shut it down. I can't remember when they shut it down. I want to say it was like, I don't know. I have no idea when it was. 2012, 2015, somewhere in that area. Um, Now we're going to get into rumor and speculation, hearsay, and stuff like that. I'll tell you what I've heard, what I think happened. Somebody who had access to the code and the database, so some type of developer or someone with the company, whenever the game got shut down, they had a copy of the source code. So that's typically, especially at a big company. Now, if you work at a small company, things are typically a lot more relaxed. But whenever you work in big companies, they have like change management system is like a position. It's a title. It's like there are people where their whole damn job is to just manage stuff. So if this were a small studio, then I would suspect that almost anybody would have access to the source code and the database if they wanted it. But at a larger company, this is very, very, very expensive intellectual property. The source code of a game is something that they don't like. It would be highly restricted access. You would only have access to it if you needed, and only while you needed. That's the way it works at big companies. So it was probably somebody that was a developer that actually wrote on the game that got. I don't know how they got it, but I suspect it was a developer because supposedly they also were able to copy the database. So somebody had the source code and the database, and they took it to a private community and loaded it up on a server, and people could log in with their old accounts, and all their characters were still there and everything. This is a tremendous security breach. This is a massive, massive, massive security breach. Now, they have denied that the database was copied or that they used the stolen database. They've also made claims that all of the passwords and stuff were encrypted, and they didn't have access to all of your personal information. Like initially, it was all denied, and then there was all kinds of excuses made, everything. I think it's true that they had the full database, which is an enormous security breach. The database now in games like this, any big thing, there's usually more than one database. I don't know if they got all the databases. Like, hold on a second. Getting a call from the company. Is it recording again? Yeah, the clock's moving. I don't know why the OBS version on my laptop doesn't have a damn pause button. I may need to uninstall and reinstall it or something. But, okay, so that was my, I don't know what her title is. She is called a driver manager, but the operations manager or whatever, like they change their titles so many so often, and they shit, she's calling again. And I'm back again. She was asking if I had an empty, and I told her no. I said I knew I was going to be home for like a week, and I didn't want to pay $10 a day to pay to park a trailer. So she told me that whenever I get a load, she's gonna have to let her know, and she'll have to find me an empty. And I said, well, I plan on, like, it's Kimberly Clark. Like, I left an empty there. She said, well, that was over a week ago. That's not the way they look at it. And she said, it's the rules. I have to get with the planner if like, for anybody to bobtail anywhere, she has to get approval and crap like that. So the operations manager sent out a message this morning, and she referred to them as capacity managers. So I don't even know. Like, they change their titles so often. So my capacity manager, driver manager, whatever dispatcher, whatever she's called. That's who I was just on the phone with. But she was asking me about an empty, if I had an empty. She was following up with me on a pay issue. I didn't get paid on, like, a drama load, like a tremendous amount of drama. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous amount of drama on I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And I was missing about $400 off my paycheck. You know, $400 in a paycheck. Now it's all relative. So it was like a $5,300 paycheck. It should have been a $5,700 paycheck. $400 missing from a $5,000 paycheck. Not that big of a deal. But if it was a $1,000 paycheck missing $400, that'd be a really big fucking deal. It's still a big deal. $400 is $400. I don't, do this job for funsies. I want all the money I'm owed. I don't care how much it is. And she actually... So I messaged her Thursday on it whenever I got my notice about what my pay was going to be. I get an email for my settlement. So Thursday I got the email telling me what my paycheck on Friday was going to be and all my settlement stuff. And I did a video on that. You can go and watch that video and look at the settlement. Well, it was missing $400. Or it was $558. And I get 65% of that, which is like $370-something. That was missing. And it was on this drama load with Clorox. Well... I messaged her and said, hey, this is missing from the check. She said, all right, I'll look into it. I didn't hear back from her. And she only works 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. So I had to wait until Monday. And I messaged her on Monday and I said, hey, did that pay issue get taken care of? And she said, I just messaged my manager and payroll about it. So she did not take care of it last week like she was, supposed to. And she didn't take care of it the week before that like she was supposed to. And so I messaged her again today And I said, hey, is that issue resolved? It's still not resolved. She just now submitted for it. She said that she submitted for it, and she submitted for $160 of extra pay because I had to set over the weekend, which that's nice of her. But at this point, I just want this. I hate having to like contact somebody multiple times over the same issue. So it didn't get done right the first time, so I had to contact my driver manager to get it fixed. She didn't get it fixed. I had to contact her a second time to get it fixed. She didn't get it fixed. I've contacted her a third time to get it fixed. It's still not fixed right now. So I'm going to wait a couple of days, and I'm going to check in with her and say, hey, is it resolved? Is it over and done with? Or hopefully she'll message me and say, hey, it's been approved, it's over and done with. So I don't have to call her back again. You know, I don't like having to contact somebody 4 times over an issue to get it resolved. It's something that I have to keep in the back of my mind. It's an ongoing stress issue. And I have to remember, hey, I got to remember to go and check in on that. Make sure that got done. So it's going to be like 2 or 3 paychecks later that I get this money. It's annoying. But yeah, I'm just sitting around. Let's refresh the loads. That's something else she asked me about. She was like, hey, when are you planning? Do you know when you're planning on leaving your house? And I said, yeah. I've been looking for a load since Friday. As soon as I see a good load that gets me where I need to go, because I need to get my APU fixed. I said my APU hasn't been working for a month, and I need to get through Springfield, Missouri to get that fixed. So I'm looking for a load that actually pays decent, that gets me through Springfield, that has enough time on it that I can stop and get my APU fixed. And I said, you know, I saw a load on Monday that paid really well. It was an awesome load. It's like $3 a mile. It took me through Springfield, but it didn't have any extra time on the load. So, you know, I didn't get that load. But she said that she'll have to find me an empty whenever I decide to leave. I'm like, what? Like, I plan on getting a load out of Kimberly-Clark. Why in the hell would I need to get an empty? I left an empty there. I didn't pull an empty out. And she's like, it's just, that's the rules. I have to check with the planner if I ever do that. If anyone ever bobtails, you know. The reason this pisses me off is they pay me almost nothing to go drive around looking for an empty. So if they're going to demand that I get an empty to go pick up a load at Kimberly-Clark, that's time that I'm going to have, that's my drive time, and that's my 14-hour clock that I'm going to have to start to go drive around. Who the fuck ever knows? Like, there's hardly anywhere around this area that if I have to go somewhere to pick up an empty, it's going to be Muskogee or Ochalata, or like, it's going to be a couple of hours out of route. It's going to be a huge out of route for me. And they pay me nothing to go do that. It's like 50 cents a mile or something. It like, I don't even think it covers, like, it barely covers fuel cost. Like, I make nothing going and shuttling around empty fucking trailers for them. So it kind of pisses me off that they told me that I'm going to have to go get an empty. It makes it almost like not worth it. Like, it's cheaper for me to just pay $10 a day to park an empty over at the secure lot over here than it is for me to go drive and find an empty. It just, like, I'm getting really, really pissed off right now. But, you know, I'm still refreshing the board, still looking for loads. I don't really have many filters enabled. It's just showing everything within 150 miles. Normally, I would have a filter like don't show me anything less than $1,000, or don't show me anything less than $600, $700, $500, because there is occasionally a run that'll pop up that goes from Oklahoma City to Tulsa, from Niagara bottled water, and it'll pay like up to $1,000 for that load. It's 110 miles, pays $1,000. I will happily take that load to Tulsa, and then pick up a load out of Tulsa going somewhere. I've done that load before. Don't have a problem doing that load. But it's Niagara bottled water. Sorry, just refreshing again. I'm not in a huge hurry, and at this point, I'm thinking about like I might not get a load until next week. That's a very, very high probability because at this point, the load that I get on the load board right now may not pick up until like Friday. Like if I can't get a load today, I end up picking one up on Wednesday, it may not pick up until Friday. And APU Center is not open on the weekend. So at this point, it's looking more and more like I'm going to be getting a Sunday or Monday load, and I'm going to be snagging it up like Thursday or something. But I'm not desperate to leave my house. I'm not going to leave my house, making nothing. So I'm waiting around on a good load. So let's flip back over, and you'll get some game footage of me here. What are we doing here? We're supposed to talk to somebody. Where is the person at? Okay, there's a marker over there. All right, let's not turn on super speed. That's just too damn fast. Let's just turn on sprint. Super speed is not for running around inside a building. So anyway, back on City of Heroes, it's the game was shut down. The source code was and the database pretty much stolen. I'm not like a story person, as you can tell. I don't read that stupid shit. I'm a character progression person. I like getting more powerful. That's what drives me to play these games. Alright, now I need to go back to Ouroboros. So let's create the Ouroboros portal. Click on it. And we go back and talk with the original quest giver. Hopefully that's the end of this chain. Now I need to track down Trapdoor. Oh shit, I have to do another mission. I do not know if I'm super buffed this time. You know what? Let's turn off my AoEs. Let's turn back on my stealth, my super sprint, and let's see if I can stealth through here. Some mobs have really high perception, and they can see through stealth. What's the deal here? So some jackass figured out that they can create vertical landscapes, and they're just really overdoing the hell out of it. Let's just have them jump down pipes for 4 fucking hours. Be like Super Mario Brothers Revisited. What is this? This is trapdoor. Face off against trapdoor. Okay. Let's look at my attributes. I don't think I'm super buffed like I was last time. So this could be... Well, he's only a boss. Now, I had to call in people to help me. I had to, like, request. I got onto the general chat, and I was like, hey, can somebody help me? I can't kill this boss. But that one was an elite boss. This is just a regular boss. We'll see if I can do this. Wow, I don't think I can do this. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't think I can do this. Like, he just hits way too hard. I do no damage to him. I'm thinking. Holy crap, he hits so hard. I don't know what's going on with my energy. Like, is he casting something on me that just makes it to where my, like, I can't do anything because my energy pool is 0? Yeah, I'm gonna die. He just keeps knocking me down. He's got something. Now I got ads because he's knocking me all over the fucking place. Hit me for 500 and shit. I'm gonna have to ask for help on this mission. I can't do any damage to him, and he's just destroying me. So I'm not gonna record me sitting around begging for help in general chat and waiting. Like, it'll take, like, I won't be able to talk on the video. It'll take too much of my focus whenever I have somebody else come in and help me. But I'll just have. I think this is the last thing that I need to unlock, and then I can actually go play the fucking game. I hate this unlock bullshit. These are systems and games that I don't really care too much for. I just like progression. I don't like progression that's locked behind difficult stuff. I like grindy progression stuff. That's more about time, because in my old age, I don't have a whole bunch. Like, all of my buddies quit playing games. Like, I know very few people who still play games. And those few people that I know that still play games, they've gotten crotchety in their old age, and they're very like set in their ways. They've kind of like they got to that point where they don't really like playing games. Like, I don't know how to put it. Um, so yeah, it's really hard for me to do difficult stuff. I avoid playing games that have like requirements of groups to progress in, um, because it's such a pain in the ass for me. I just don't have the free time to be like in a guild or anything. I can't meet the requirements for attendance to be in raid guilds and stuff like that, so I can't raid. I can't play games that have raids in them. Um, and it's just, in general, it's just really hard for me to do any content that's not soloable. And I have very sporadic play time. I might go 2 months without playing. And then I might have like 2 weeks off where I'm playing 24 hours a day for 2 weeks. It goes up and down like that with me. Adult schedules are not very good for gaming. But anyway, City of Heroes, Champions Online, and DC Universe. So City of Heroes, the big thing with that is it's really, really easy and fun to group in City of Heroes. It's not as punishing if you have a bad person in your group in City of Heroes. You can have a bad tank, you can have a bad healer, you can have, bad DPS, and you can still do really well because they're large groups. I think it's like eight or 9 person groups is the max group size, and it's really easy to put a group together. And because it's not so punishing, people aren't as strict about who gets in the group. A lot of the content, people can solo it. So you have 9 people in a group, and one person that's really geared out could probably solo that content. And if you have that one person in the group, then everybody else doesn't really matter. So it makes for very fun grouping. It's not stressful. So that's the big thing with City of Heroes. City of Heroes is awesome for grouping. It's one of my reasons I play the game, is because it's so easy to get into groups. I do tons of grouping in City of Heroes. I don't really group in any other game. It's so easy and fun to group in City of Heroes. That's one of the biggest selling points to this game. Champions Online has some really cool abilities. It has a really good engine. The art style and the animations and stuff in in Champions Online is really good. But mainly, it's some of the abilities in Champions Online are just amazing. They have tons and tons and tons of abilities. My favorite is a transportation ability called Teleport. Teleport in City of Heroes is you press the teleport button, and then you move your mouse to where you want to go, and you click there. And then there's an animation, and then you're there. It's a really slow ability. It's clunky. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass to use. And you can only teleport to somewhere that you can see, that you can click to. So you can't, like, teleport to the other side of a door or anything like that. Champions Online Teleport, you activate teleport, and you go into this realm. Like, your screen changes color and stuff, and it goes like gray, and you basically enter into like this alternate dimension or something, subspace. I don't know what it is. And you have flight, and you have incredibly fast movement speed. So you can move where you want to teleport to really quickly, and you can either just wait out your teleport and you'll eventually just pop out of that dimension and back into normal space, or you can click your teleport button again anytime you want and you'll pop out. And then you can pop back in and pop back out. Pop back in, pop back out. It is amazing, and it is so broken in PvP. I don't know if it's still broken in PvP, but I used it in PvP early in the game when the game first came out. And I had people bitching and complaining about me on the forums because I was just destroying people in PvP because I was basically unkillable. Anytime I would get into a bad situation, I would just hit my teleport button. I would just disappear. I would go over somewhere, pop out a teleport, heal up. If they saw me and started heading towards me before I finished healing up, then I'd just pop my teleport again, go back over the other side of the room or behind something and hide. There were these little battle arena things that you get into, and I just dominated people in that damn battle arena because of teleport. Like, I just wrecked people with teleport. And my character was dot based, so I would just dot the hell out of people, and then I would teleport around, and once my dots wore off, I would dot them up again, teleport around. Like, I could take out entire groups of people doing that, just running around keeping dots on people, just rolling my dots on people and teleporting to where they couldn't touch me. Yeah, that was a little bit broken. And what was the other one? DC Universe Online. That one also has some really cool abilities. It probably has the best combat of the three of them. And it has some really cool abilities. Like, the movement speed in that one is much better. Like, super speed. So I have super speed in this one. And all it is just super speed. You can just run really fast. You don't get anything else. You just run really fast, and you get like an aggro radius, almost like a stealth buff. Like your aggro it's mobs ignore you pretty much while you have super speed on. And then I also have invisibility. So when I combine super speed and invisibility, it makes it to where it's really hard for me to get detected by mobs. I can basically stealth missions with those two abilities. Well, DC Universe Online was like, well, super speed is very limiting because, like, let's say you want to get to the top of a building. How the hell do you do that with super speed? You're just fucked. So I have an alternate ability here in City of Heroes that allows me flight to get to hard to reach places. In DC Universe, you can actually run up the side of buildings. You can run up the side of anything. DC Universe has some of the best travel powers. All of their travel powers are really amazing. DC Universe has really, really amazing. This is making me want to play Champions and DC Universe. I want, like, the teleportability in Champions Online is so amazing that I keep wanting to play that game just for the teleportability. And the run speed in DC Universe, that is enough to make me want to play that game. Like, the movement abilities are so amazing in those games. The movement abilities in City of Heroes, the travel powers, they're decent. The really big thing about City of Heroes, though, is just the grouping and fighting huge groups. You can become really powerful and fight massive groups of mobs at a time. DC Universe Online and Champions Online, DC and Champions, they're really more about fighting one or two things at a time. City of Heroes is about fighting 5, 10, 15, 20 things at a time. And you have big AoEs and stuff like that. So it's pretty nice. They all have their things. One of the big reasons I haven't gotten back into Champions Online is because they have that damn thing. Well, there's a new one, but I'm not going to New York. Ooh, they got a couple of new ones. There's a Pottsville, Pennsylvania. That shit's on there all the time. These Robert, Louisiana ones I think are new as well. They just posted a whole bunch of loads. I think Pottsville takes you over to the east side of Pennsylvania, which is a really bad fucking place to be. God, it's just, man, these loads pay crap. To go to New York for less than $2 a mile? I would rather go to Florida for $2 a mile than New York. There's no way I'm going to Washington, especially for that ridiculous rate. I wouldn't mind going to Robert, Louisiana. If I wasn't trying to get to Springfield, I would not take this load, but I would consider it. I wouldn't take it, though. There are two things about this. Number one, it doesn't pay very well. And number two, going from Tulsa to Robert, Louisiana is almost all highways. Now, this Fulton, Missouri would probably get me where I want to go, but I'm not going to just like pay somebody to haul their shit for them just so I can get my APU fixed. I will deadhead before I haul something that fucking cheap. I'll just drive to Springfield. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. I can't make this video too terribly long because it's already over an hour. It's much higher quality than what I record on my phone, and the size is just crazy. This is probably going to be like 5 gigs to upload at an hour. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. I'm just sitting around waiting on a good load to pop up, and once a good load pops up, I'm pretty much ready to go. I don't expect that I'm going to I'm perfectly capable and willing that if a load pops up that needs to be picked up today, I will, like, if it's a really good load, I'll get all my shit together and be out today. But most likely, it's going to be a day or two out on whatever load I pick, and I'll probably do a Walmart delivery and make some kind of food to take with me on the truck once I get a load. So there are still a few things that I'm probably going to end up doing. But for the most part, I'm ready to roll out. And since they're throwing loads on the load board right now, I need to be refreshing that thing like crazy. After 5 p.m., there's not going to be much of anything. So for the next 3 hours, I'm going to be refreshing the load board like crazy. If there's not anything good on there by 5, then I'll be back up at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm trying to stay on a schedule to where I'm awake 8 to 5 so I can be sitting here refreshing the load board looking for a load. I'm looking for an amazing load. It's not worth it for me to leave my house for a couple $100. If I can get something that's going to pay me a couple $1,000, then yeah, let's roll. But I'm not going to leave my house for a couple $100. Sorry, am I still on the? I was looking at the load list here. And these are not like I don't know where they pull these rates from. This is just some made up shit. I've seen the exact same load. You see how this one's posted twice right here? It's the exact same load posted twice. Now I'm sure that there are two loads here. This one's 10,730 pounds, 14,283. So it's not a duplicate load. These are two different loads. But I've seen two loads that were pretty much identical that paid 10-15% different. Like there was a Romeoville, Illinois load. There was two loads. One of them paid $2,200. The other one paid $2,000. Exact same load. Had the exact same pickup time. The delivery time was an hour apart. So I don't know how they come up with this shit. But whoever's coming up with the prices on this load board, you are the reason that USA Truck is not going to be able to retain lease drivers. Owner op's going to go somewhere else because this load board is just too fucking cheap. These rates are terrible. Second. Sorry, I was just looking at something. But that's it, yeah. Man, everybody runs that positron story arc all the time. There must be a really good reward for it. I need to look into that. Anyway, that's it. I'm just sitting around waiting on a good load. Just going to keep refreshing the page and checking it out. This is the most loads. After they just put those loads on there, and they put them on while I was making this video, this is the most loads that's been on this load board since last week. So I'm starting to get excited that something good's going to pop up. We'll see. Really tempted to pull that Wintersville, Ohio, just for the, just to get the hell out of here. But I'm hoping, like, at some point, once I've sat here long enough, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm waiting for the perfect load. I mean, at some point, that is the mentality that I get to, where I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not going to leave my house. Like, I've already waited like 3 days on a load. I'm not going to leave on some half-ass load. I'm waiting for the perfect one. I haven't hit that point yet, but we're getting there. So anyway, I'm going to end the video so that I can focus on refreshing the board and getting this mission done. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.